I'm Captain Fernandez. I was born in a little-known town as Chillen, Maryland, right outside of the D.C. area. I attended West Point, the United States Military Academy at West Point, New York, and I commissioned into the EOD field, Explosive Ordnance Disposal, as in second lieutenant. Well, they're number one, and they have been for years. But more importantly, the reason that they're number one, in the way I believe it, is the way they do things. They teach leadership as a way of service. Because if you're in leadership positions and not servicing the ones below you, you're failing as a leader. And they really ingrained that over 4 years of pretty interesting and tough experience. And I wouldn't change it for the world. Extremely important. Actually, it's one of the foundational things that I plan on instilling inside of my family in the future. And what I mean by that is that my parents weren't born here. My mom was from Colombia and my dad was from Chile. And my sisters and I were fortunate enough to be born in this country and gain citizenship automatically. And we owe a huge debt to this country, and I wanted to pay back immediately by joining the military. I had the opportunity to go to West Point and commission as an officer, and what I have learned through that process, I will definitely be instilling those values that I learned, not just at West Point, but in the Army in general, into the way I'm going to raise my future family. And I want them to trace those roots and the patriotic roots to what I have done. As a lieutenant and as a young 21-year-old, I thought it would be an exciting thing to do. But it was also extremely difficult and a challenge that would push my limits. The graduation rate is extremely low for a military school, and it's very difficult to go through. And not only that, but it is a very unique experience because EOD is a very tight-knit community, meaning that it's not just the Army, it's the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines. They all go to the same school, and we exchanged a lot of knowledge and a lot of TTPs, which are techniques that we use in order to get the job done safely. And again, just like anything else, when you have that cross-communication between just people and people with different perspectives, you get a very, very beautiful sense of understanding the broader picture. So I'll tell you about one. I was the chief of plans for the United States Military Academy. Actually, right before this assignment, I was assigned at West Point. And that gave me the responsibility of managing, planning, and executing just about everything that cadets do on a day-to-day basis, minus their academics. And it really pushed my limits when it comes to understanding of how to flip from current operations to future operations, and kind of the in-between, meaning the planning portions between what's going on today, what's going to happen a month, 2, 3, 4 months from now. Push between now and the future, now and the future. And it also gave me time, not time really, but it forced the paradigm on me that I need to really plan of what I want in the future, not just in my career, but in my life. Trust is the most important thing you can have as a leader. And without it, there's no way for you to lead. You can be in a position, but without trust and without ensuring that you have that trust for those individuals below you, there is no way for you to lead them forward. They'll follow you out of position, but they won't follow you because they want to get the mission done. And that, by far, is the most important. Without it, you have nothing. And Colin Powell has a very famous quote, actually, about it. Mr. Colin Powell now, but used to be the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the entire military force. You know soldiers trust you when they follow you just out of curiosity. And that really summarizes it all. If they follow you just for the sake of following you, you know you have earned their trust. It has been extremely challenging and even more rewarding. The Army has given myself and my family, really, the foundation to build future generations. Hands down, without it, I would not be comfortable in my own skin as I am today. My wife would not be comfortable in her own skin as she is today. She's actually commissioning. She commissioned as a second lieutenant and will be commissioning as a captain, as a doctor in a year. But if it wasn't for the Army, both of us would not be near in the positions that we have today. And overall, when it comes to how I see the Army in my life, is that the Army is a train and it will keep moving with or without me. But the impact that I'm having on a daily basis, and that I see the impact on a daily basis, really more than anything else gives me the reward that I'm impacting people's lives and changing them for the better. And in recruiting, and it has really more than anything else highlighted the fact that changing lives is what the Army does.